All right, guys, welcome back to the podcast. I have one of my good friends here, Jesse Smith. Again, my name is Donovan Lefebvre, and here we go. So, Jesse, thank you again for coming in today. I appreciate your time. So I guess you have like a Toyota Overlanding / tuning shop. Like, what's the name of your shop?
Yeah, so we just so it was one of these problems that like a good problem to have.
Yeah.
Because we were never going to get into that part of the business.
Okay.
But enough people just kept asking and hey, do you guys do that?
Yep.
Because we only did it for our own vehicles.
Okay.
And so it was one of those things where it was like, I guess we're going this way too.
Yeah.
So, and it's awesome.
So you started out just doing the tuning, and then the overlanding kind of followed in? Or?
Yeah. We started doing the tuning out of so we had the truck tuned.
Okay.
And it's one of those things where it's you get a certain tune, you expect a certain thing, and then it's you don't get that product, and it's like, well, I guess I'm going to do it myself.
Yeah, you kind of, necessity is your mother invention, right?
Yeah, yeah. So, we reached out to the guys, Dave and Craig, Katie Max Tuning.
Okay.
And they're, awesome guys. They walked us through it, and they asked if we wanted to start it up. And there's nobody in Vermont. There's nobody within like 4 hours.
Dang.
That's doing it. So, it was a little trial period to see if this is something we wanted to get into, and it's been great. It's been a great, and that just everybody asks about the truck. That's the main thing that everybody comes up and talks about the truck, and I can talk about the truck all day long.
Right on.
And it was just hey, why'd you do this? Why'd you do that?
Yeah.
It was really just well, I needed some space here, or I needed. I'd go on trail runs, and the stock bumpers were way back there, and so it's like, well, I guess I got to change those, and it's just everything comes out of necessity,
Right on. So what is the name of your shop?
So we just last week we just finally, because that's one of those things. It's
like build your brand, make it.
Like,
It's a thing. Yeah.
It's the worst, and so we just settled on the Overland shop.
Right on.
Not, we tried to keep it very generic, not like, off-road, whatever, four-wheel. Yep. It's just, nope, the Overland shop.
Yep.
And, I know that word, the overlanding word gets beat up and thrown around to everything, but that's really it really is the best word to describe everything we like doing. So.
Cool. I'm by no means an overlanding person, or like I'm not a professional in that. So I did a little research before we talked today.
Yeah.
And so overlanding is essentially how I understand it. It's a journey. It's about going off grid for an extended amount of time. Its roots go back to, I guess, Australia, when they used to trade livestock on these off-road trails, and then it kind of developed into this culture of people like, hey, let's gear up our rigs, let's just go without a specific destination. And that reminded me of, like, so we have our friendship kind of started back in the Harley world. And so it reminded me of, like, just taking a ride, like getting up with some guys, let's go for a ride, and we don't care where we end up, we're just going because we love to ride. And so in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, that kind of sounds like what overlanding is. Like, you just go for the experience, not so much, hey, I'm going to go to point A to point B, and my point B is a specific spot is that how you understand it? Is that?
Yeah, it's really, I mean, all overlanding is anything to do with adventure, exploring, just getting out, it's and I love what the past couple of years have done for it, because it's gotten so many people out. Outside, back outside, back to doing, things that they forgot they like to do.
Right on.
Instead of, let's hit the Netflix button and play some video games, or, or we could go out, we could do some fishing, we could do some camping, we could just get outside.
I love that. I love that. So Are you specifically Toyota in your shop, or do you prefer Toyota, or is there a brand that you? I mean, not to name drop brands, but is there particular?
Well, like when we were at Harley, I mean, I still have Hondas, Triumphs.
Right on.
I love everything.
Yep.
I think everything's got its own great thing about it.
Sure.
I love Toyotas.
Yep.
Just because it's the brand that fits me the best. I mean, I love everything about them. Mm-hmm. But no, I love everything. I mean, we did a lift on a 22 Dodge.
Mm-hmm.
We have a 2020 Tacoma and a 2016 4Runner in the shop right now. But
nice.
We did. We just did a lift on a 2008, I believe, Tundra.
Mm-hmm. Really cool.
So it's.
What was the body? Was it a double cab or single cab?
Access cab. Yeah,
access.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's.
I mean, I love the Toyotas.
Yep.
But I love everything. I mean, I love seeing these full size trucks tackle these things off road. It's awesome. I love it.
Very cool. So yeah, I think Toyota definitely has that brand recognition, that quality, that dependability, that reliability. One of the reasons I chose to take this position here at Handy Cars was Toyota has that like kind of cult following that Harley has. I feel like Toyota people are very brand loyal.
Yeah.
And I think I love the versatility of the Toyota brand. I think that, like you said, people are taking Tacomas and doing a lot of different things. They're taking 4Runners. I mean, there's a lot of history there. What do you drive for your rig personally?
I got a 21 Pro manual.
Tacoma?
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
That's a great rig. I have a TRD Sport manual 6-speed. But before that, I had a 15 4-cylinder 5-speed. And to me, I feel like that. Maybe I'm just a little weird, but the gear ratio on the 4-cylinder 5-speed just feels a little more user-friendly. The 6-speeds, they just feel taller.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got 5th and 6th gear, both overdrive gears, so it's once you get out of 4th, you're past the 1-to-1 ratio. So they are pretty much just for highway.
Yeah, interstate. Yeah. But that was one of the things I wished I had in my 15 was that 6th gear, just like, banging 6th gear on a Harley, like you want that extra gear to knock the RPMs down a little bit when you're at cruising speed.
Yeah.
I put together a few brainstorm ideas here, so I'm going to pick and choose here as our conversation kind of organically moves forward here, Jesse. Sounds like you prefer standard transmission when you're tuning, or just driving. Personally? Yeah,
I love driving. So we've done a couple road trips to California and back.
Yeah, very nice.
I mean, Wisconsin. We did some camping at the Outer Banks. We got a friend in South Carolina. Mm-hmm. I'll be heading out to the Dakotas in about August.
Nice.
Not for.
I was gonna say, are you bringing your bike?
We're actually working out there, but I'm just driving.
Very cool.
I already scouted out some trout streams, so I'm
gonna go out there.
And any off days, I'm just gonna hit some trails, do some fly fishing, and
sweet. Sounds amazing.
Make the best of it. But I'd rather. I love being on the road.
Yep.
But I love driving. I love shifting. I love I'd rather not something else do it for me.
Yep.
I love being in control of it. So.
Yeah, I totally understand that because a lot of my rigs have been standard transmissions, and I feel like it's a different experience. You're interacting a little more. You're able to kind of feel which RPMs where you want. Even just city driving. It can be annoying if you're in traffic and with an automatic. So I agree 100%. That's interesting. That's cool. I think we have that in common. So let's dive a little bit more into the tuning end of your business.
Yeah.
Do you use like a dyno, or is it all computer? Do you tune on the road, or
nope? We do. It's a ECU reflash.
Okay.
So it's pretty much it's. And I'm by no means an IT guy whatsoever.
Neither am I.
But it's pretty much just rewriting the operating system and reflashing the ECU.
Okay.
And the guys that actually developed the tune, they're in California, but they've done. I mean, I think Craig's reflashed his truck over 300 times just getting it. And they use dynos out there,
mm-hmm.
but they refine it to where they can push it out to their tuners.
Okay.
And the tuners can push it out to the customers.
Very cool. Do you feel like is that tuning? What's the benefits of it? Is it just like restructuring it? So like when you're in a low RPM off road, it like gives them better fuel economy. You know what I mean? Like what are the gains to it?
The main vehicles that benefit from it are the automatics.
Yeah.
The manuals you get. So it's roughly 28 horse, 29 foot-pounds.
Just from the reflash.
Yeah.
No doubt.
It moves the power band a little lower, which is great for the 3.5s because they don't start making power until you hit some RPMs.
Yep.
And when you're trying to lug it along on a trail or something, it's a little rough, especially in the manuals off-road.
Kind of lugging the motor a little bit.
So it's that's helped immensely with 4-low first gear, just having that little bit of torque to just crawl.
Interesting.
But the autos,
mm-hmm.
It solves a lot of the gear hunting issues that they have with them.
That the trucks are doing when they're in certain situations, I imagine.
Yeah. Just shifting to try and get in that happy spot. So
very cool.
On the autos, it's a transmission and engine tune.
Okay.
So, and most people see more an increase in miles per gallon.
Right. Well, that's something
1 to 3.
Right on. I learned that years ago when I was going through Harley mechanic school that a properly tuned engine in a Harley is an efficient engine.
Yeah.
So I'd imagine, it's all nuts and bolts. It would probably the same theory applies to this industry.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it's like you said, the more efficient you can make an engine, and it's when you're producing so many vehicles like Harley and Toyota and I mean name a brand,
right?
It's not efficient for. You're pushing out a quality product
mm-hmm.
that can always get better, but it's like at that 99% level.
Sweet.
And it's if every company pushed out every vehicle to 100% of the capability, all these little aftermarket companies wouldn't have a job. So
like Overland.
It's just tweaking that last little bit out of them.
Yeah, no, I love that. I like that you found a niche and you're trying to fill a need, and it sounds pretty selfless. So I really like that. I didn't really want to go here, but I'm going to go here. The tuning thing and the warranty stuff. Like, what's your opinion on that? I know in my previous industry, in my previous experience, so like when you tune a Harley, there's a certain amount of time with a factory warranty, and if you use an aftermarket tuner, Harley will wash their hands of the warranty stuff. Are you encountering anything like that when what you're doing? Or?
We're not.
Awesome.
I mean, it's because it's not a the tune is not. We're not out there trying to build race cars.
Right.
We're just trying to make the engines a little more efficient.
Purpose built. So,
yeah. And it doesn't. And it honestly. We've had Dave and Craig. They've had some Toyota techs actually mention that it would on the autos.
Yeah,
it has a good potential of increasing the longevity of the autos.
Very cool.
Just from cutting down on so much shifting.
Yep.
Especially going up grades and stuff like that.
Right.
Between going back from 4 to 5 to 6 to 5 to it'll just come down to 5. And it'll just hold it.
Just have that extra torque and carry. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I like to hear that. So talking a little more engine stuff, I don't know the exact year off the top of my head, but in the mid-2010s, Tacoma dropped the 4-liter V6 and went down to the 3.5-liter. What's your opinion on those two engines? Do you like one more or less? Or
I like the 4-liter.
Yeah.
I love the 3.5.
Yeah, it's a great engine. I agree.
It is. And it's kind of you kind of have to look at it as performance-wise because both of them are just, you take care of them, they're going to run for 1 million miles.
Oh, sure.
But it's the 4-liter. It has a little more of that low end.
Okay.
Honestly, I can't wait till they come out. I'm hoping the new Tacoma. I know it won't have a manual because I know those are pretty much just going.
We get maybe like 3 to 5 for every 100 Tacomas we see. They're pretty rare. And I think they're phasing them out, right?
But the the hybrid power plant is, I mean, look at the Tundra.
Yeah.
It's a beast.
Yeah.
And it's fuel efficient.
Yep.
They're great.
That's where I was going with it. I was curious what your thoughts were. Like, there's scuttlebutt in the industry. Tacomas are going to come out with a reborn platform. They're probably going to put a hybrid powertrain in there. Yeah. Toyota is very strict with what they release. I don't even know the years, and I don't know the specs yet, but it's in the pipeline. Toyota in general is dropping their big displacement motors. They're creating more efficiency, but they're held to a higher standard. Like, they have to play on a field where they're releasing on-road use vehicles, so they have to play with those rules and regulations, which I respect. But yeah, so it sounds like you're open to that hybrid in the Tacoma,
absolutely.
And
I honestly think the perfect off-road overlanding vehicle would be, and the tech just isn't out there for it yet, but would be an electric platform.
Really?
That you could recharge with, solar panels.
Yeah.
Maybe mini wind generators. They make little turbines that you can chuck in a stream.
Dang.
But you could, if you had the ability to recharge your vehicle on the trail, even if it took a day, to set up the campsite.
Yeah.
Throw something in a spring or set up your solar panels.
Interesting. I love that idea.
But you're never going to be able to carry enough fuel.
Yeah.
You can't get fuel from nowhere. You can get energy from everywhere you are, everywhere you go, you can get energy.
Yep.
So, but I think, that would be the ultimate.
That would be really
vehicle.
neat.
But I think that's probably 15, 20 years away.
Down the road. Well, I think the industry in general, electric vehicles it's going to be a while before it's super mainstream. Like, just like you said, the power grid, there's energy supply chain issues that I think, people smarter than me need to figure out. Where it comes to recharging vehicles, plugging in, having a power grid that can support that. But I really like that idea of the little turbines in the stream and the river to give you some juice. I like the solar panel thing. I read an article recently. It was quite outdated. It was a few years back, but Toyota had worked on a rooftop mechanism that had solar panels built into it to help recharge on the go, and it blew my mind. And hearing you say things like that, I think that would be a really, really neat detail to have at your disposal.
And it would, overlanding. It would open up a whole nother door for these aftermarket companies.
Sure.
That, like the CBI, Printu, all those kind of Expedition Essentials. But now, if they came out with that, now I don't know I've never worked on electric vehicles, so I don't know what the how they're built, but it could be that opens up a whole nother avenue for aftermarket parts for those vehicles. Like, let's replace a battery pack with all kind of options for plug. And hey, we have different water turbine chargers. We have different solar panels. We have you can. The whatever anybody comes out with. Yeah. Somebody's going to make an upgrade for it. That's just and that's
the nature of the beast, right?
Yeah, and it's a great thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but also the electric vehicles, it's there's excuse me. You talk power band. There's no power band. You get everything
it's instantaneous
right away.
Yeah.
So, you look at some of these rock crawlers and stuff like that are just trying to creep over these rocks and they have to gear down so low to get that engine power band to go as slow as they want to. Yeah. Now it's just everything's instantaneous. No matter where you are.
You're going to break stuff because it's right there.
Yeah. So I think it's great.
Very cool. I like that idea. So RAV4 hybrid, RAV4 plug-in hybrid. There's a BZ4X now from Toyota. There's some SUVs. That might be a cool project someday to team up and make like a overlanding SUV that's electric.
I love it. That'd be neat. I've seen pictures of guys with you name it, Cadillacs, whatever. They throw a rooftop tent on just because they're like, nope, I'm not necessarily into the trails and stuff like that. Yeah. But I want to go camping.
Nice.
And it's and that's the other thing I like about the overlanding word is it's not. It doesn't pigeonhole anybody into you don't have this, so you can't go. And
it's an inclusive term.
It's just getting out.
I like that. Yeah.
however you want to adventure is awesome.
Cool. I'm trying to think what else here. I have a couple other questions I wanted to chat with you about. So the overlanding experience, how'd you get into it? What turned you on to that overlanding experience? What drew you to it?
I grew up in Colorado, and my grandpa taught me to fish. I was always outdoors,
Nice.
always outdoors, and always talking to the local fishing shops, and there's a St. Peter's Fly Shop there in Fort Collins. They kind of took me under their wing and started taking me up and up the Poudre River and by cool. Fort Collins, and
sounds beautiful.
It was man, it's amazing. But then I got my license, and it's I just saw these guys with these 4x4s. And, basically being able to get further than I can walk or ride a bicycle or anything like that. So I started getting into that, and then it was amazing. I mean, Colorado's got some just incredible trails.
Yeah, but I'm sure.
So, and I ended up moving, so when I was 16, I was like, nope, I got the gearhead bug. Like, that is just what I want to do. I don't care about anything else except that and fishing. And so my first job was at a little oil change place, and I just started working up from there. And then when I moved out here, it kind of that whole thing kind of just put on the brakes. I mean, I joined the military June 2001 as Vermont had the Mountain Infantry battalion up here, and I was like, man, that seems pretty cool. And then 3 months later, it just took over the next 20 years of my life.
Holy mackerel.
And now I'm staring retirement down the face, and it's like I don't want to be. Now I want to do what I want to do and what I get joy in.
Yep, that's fair.
From here until until I really want to retire, which I don't see that ever happening.
Right.
But, it's so now I get to go back to what I originally wanted to do, and so it's like the best of both worlds. I wouldn't change anything.
Yep.
But it also it put me in a place where the entrepreneurship thing is a lot easier now.
Yeah, you're able to do it. Yeah. Well, first and foremost, thank you for your service and your sacrifice, and I'm sure a lot of those experiences are pretty incredible. I think, what is a couple of favorite products of yours in the tuning, in the overlanding sector that you would say are a must-have, or that you really like personally?
Man.
A few. I'm sure there's a shit ton.
Yeah, no, there's so much out there, and it's really the best the best piece of kit is the one that makes things easier, makes your life easier.
Yeah.
I would say for anyone getting started that wants to actually go on trails and off-road and stuff like that, sliders are a must. Not steps, but
the rock sliders.
Protect that, because you're gonna hit. You can, and if you look at it as, you can hang a new fender, you can hang a new bedside, you can hang a new door. If you crush the cab, man, that's a bad day. That's a bad day.
Yeah. So that rocker slider, and,
protect
that. I can't think of the word here. Rocker panels. Yeah. I was just doing.
You gotta protect the core. And, and that's
that makes sense.
That's the cab.
Cool.
And on Forerunners, that's the second thing is a rear bumper on the Forerunners. Just because that is it is a body on frame.
Yep.
So there's not, you're not like a Tacoma. You're not unbolting the bedside and bolting another one on. That's some serious body work.
So like helps you their approach and departure angles. That's kind of where you're going with that. Yeah.
And
makes sense.
You'll I'd say sliders are the biggest one, but after that, the trails will help you figure it out real quick.
That's funny.
And you don't have to be sky high up in the air. It's 90. It really is 90% of it is driving. It's just picking lines and going slow, and the whole goal is to for one, not tear up the trails, but drive back home.
Yeah, or tear up your vehicle, right?
Yeah, drive there, do the trail, drive back home.
Yeah, it makes me think of, so when I go over Tundras with people, the new Tundras, the TRD off-roads, they have this panoramic view, PVM button switch where you can actually see the rockers with the camera system. You can see, so like I try to explain to people that are just using their vehicle for on-road, whatever, and they're like, "Oh, that's a cool parking feature," and I'm like, actually, Toyota developed this system for off-roading, and you can literally see that stump or that piece of ledge when you're trying to, trail ride, and some people get it, some people are like, "Oh, that's neat," and they like flip through the different.
It saved me a couple times. It saved, especially the front, because it's just the some of these trails you'll be going up and I mean, you can't see anything but sky. So having that front view, and I kind of feel like James Bond when I'm driving, so that's cool. But having that front view is man, it's been a lifesaver a couple times.
No doubt.
Because you can't see where you're going.
No, so when they released the new Tundras, we had the opportunity to go down to the track in southern New Hampshire, and they actually built an off-road course with some excavators and stuff, and they were really just trying to show us a minutia piece of like what these trucks are capable of. And we went over this one bank I'll never forget. Like, I wasn't driving, but they were showing us the crawl control mode and like where you could dial back 2 miles an hour, and they're like, put it in 2 miles an hour and just steer the truck. You don't touch the brakes, don't do anything else. And I was like, what? So we edge over this like embankment that it was built for us, but it was still steep. I don't know the degrees, but I couldn't see much other than like we're looking over the dash, and my foot is like reaching for the brake in the passenger seat, and my friend's like, whoa, here we go. And truck just took over and slowed us down. We went down this embankment, but where I was going with this, there was a flip side of the other side of the trail where we're up and like we can't see anything but the sky, and you just dial in what you want on the truck. We're going 2 miles an hour, we're going 4 miles an hour, and the crawl mode, and it just kind of goes up there. But that camera system, you can see what the truck, the tires are going over. You can see if there's an obstacle coming up, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I could really get a little taste of what off-roading and overlanding can be like, and it was a lot of fun. We had a great time.
And technology is a great thing.
Yeah,
it really is. I mean, it's fun to it's fun to jump in a 60s or 70s vehicle that has nothing but
low range. That's it.
When you start driving some of these new vehicles with all that tech package and the camera system and the crawl control, it really makes it nice.
That kind of levels the playing field a little bit for us amateurs out there. A little bit.
It's still. I mean, you still got to know. You still have to have your spatial awareness. You have to be able to pick lines, but that's one of those things that you just gotta get out and start going. And Vermont's hard to do it because it's we're losing a lot of our Class 4 roads, and it's a shame. But it's some of it is just because you get people going out there and tearing it up. But you really can't go out until mid-May.
Yeah.
We have such a bad mud season here. After that, when you do get out, it's incredible. We did a couple fall runs. And it was again, just living in Vermont, New England, it just, the ground was covered. It just looked like you were rolling through a painting, and the mid-May thing, it seems like a long way, but it leaves a month or two to get out and do some fishing and wait for the trails to dry up and
kind of makes you appreciate it a little more. I look at that like riding too. Like, I get bummed in the wintertime. I want to be out on my bike, but it makes it that much more special for me during the months that I can ride. I'm sure it's similar when you're trail riding or you're looking forward to that.
It does. It used to hit me. It used to hit me hard the long winter.
Yeah.
And and I was one of those like, nope, never. No, I can't retire in Vermont. The winters are too long. But just now I love those first couple snowfalls and
absolutely.
I think this is I've lived here the longest, so really the main reason that I'm just staying here is because I just have that core group of people now.
Yep, right on.
And that means more to having that group of people that no matter what happens, you're like, no, I'll be good.
Absolutely.
It means more than retiring on a beach somewhere.
Yep.
Like that's a vacation. You want to get warm, just take road trips.
Yep.
Jump in the truck, with the tent, whatever. Drive south, get some sun, come back up to the wintertime and shake it off a little bit.
Right on. Do you feel like you're trying to gear up your shop so you're doing more of those bigger build projects in the off season, or?
I never really thought about a on season or off season. Okay. That is real big in the motorcycle world. It's but it's doing the overland stuff. It's pretty much I expect it to be busy all year
round.
Yeah,
right on. That's good.
It's and that's the great thing with the vehicles is there's really no season for it. If you're good with jumping in the truck and driving for a day or two, you can get out of the cold. You can get somewhere and that's good weather and hit some trails.
Right on.
So
I think that's pretty much all the questions I had. I guess I had one more. I wanted to pick your brain a little. Do you have a favorite or memorable trip you've taken with a truck or vehicle? As we're talking about 4x4 and off-roading, is there one that sticks out in your head that you really like, or a certain area of the country that you particularly like?
Yeah, it was probably the last trip to California and back.
Nice.
I went out there for Christmas. So we took it's 22 days. We took 22 days, but we took the northern route out, and then we took the southern route back. But we bounced around. We went through Joshua Tree. We went through Moab. We didn't ride any trails on Moab, but just it's incredible how much the U.S. has to offer, and so many people don't realize. They see all these pictures in other countries, and oh my God, I wish I could go there. And have you really looked at what we have here? It's we have everything. Yeah. Anything you could want is here, and it's the travel is easy. You don't have to jump on a plane. You don't have to get a passport. You don't have to. Yep. You just got to put some gas in it and go.
Yeah, that's a great perspective. I like that.
There's so many places in the U.S., but I guess my favorite trip is usually cross country, just because you see so much. Yep. And you meet awesome people. I mean, it's a lot of these places. We'll just hip camp. People just put their lands up you can park and camp on their properties. And
is there like an app or something like that? Or you just say, hey, you can stop here and then.
No, it's just you got an app on your phone. Just
very cool.
Yeah, man, it's technology.
Technology.
Yeah, it's crazy. But we've met some super cool people.
Nice.
And that's another reason I really like the whole community is usually, for the most part, most people that get out and do stuff like this are just good people. Yep. They're like-minded, good people.
Yep. Appreciating the wilderness for what it is and trying to be respectful and have a good time.
You find more patience in them. You find more good in them. You find more. they're just overall
nice,
just good people, good community, and that's always looking at the grand scheme of things. The down the road, it'd be awesome to just bring that community a little closer. Like it's there's so many vehicles out there that are lifted, all kitted out, and I feel like everybody just kind of passes, waves, and is like, oh man, they got a cool truck. It'd be cool to talk to them.
There you go.
But nobody ever stops. And it's like, wow, there's a community out there just waiting to, waiting to come together. So.
Right on. Well, maybe I'll reach out to you. So we do Sport Car USA events. Maybe you can like bring a truck or something and invite some folks and display a little bit. Or
oh man, I'd have a lineup here.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, I'll shoot you an email with our events, but because we always are encouraging. There's antique builds there that we've seen this past summer. There was, Quentin Brothers did a Corvette release, Corvette release where they showcase some of the stuff they did. So it's not strictly just, one avenue of sport cars, but I think that'd be nice. Fun,
that'd be awesome.
In addition,
yeah.
Great.
I probably got, off the top of my head, there's probably 6 to 8 vehicles I could. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Right. Well, I think this brings our time together to an end. Jesse, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. This was pretty cool. This is the first time I've done it.
Right on.
This is
Cool. So, guys, again, Jesse Smith with us, Overland Shop here in Vermont. We'll put some links to his shop and to Handy Cars. If you have more questions, email us. Have any ideas, would like to pick our brain about something we've covered today, let us know. Take care, guys. Thank you.